I think it's handsome. This boat is really special. I feel like I say that about a lot of the boats that we look at. This catches me. It's just an amazing, amazing arrangement. She's pretty wonderful, an amazing surprise for me. Hi there, this is Captain Q. Join us as we travel hither and yon to show you some great deals on some really interesting boats and maybe learn just a little bit with each one.
What is going on?
Randy, I'm so glad to see you because I thought for a moment I might not see you, but since I'm in a boatyard, you seem to show up in these boatyards.
Where's my smiley hello?
I'm not happy here because we've come to see a Scheel 45. Now, Henry Scheel is most noted for one thing. He was most noted for the Scheel keel. The Scheel, this is not a Scheel keel. The Scheel keel was an extra piece of lead that had slight rounded flanges on the bottom of them that would help prevent the transfer of flow of water underneath the keel when the boat was sailing. It's a very clever design, so clever in fact, he was able to get a U.S. patent for it. This is one of 6 boats they built. Centerboard gives you even still a little less draft than a Scheel keel. But anyway, I'm only disappointed because I wanted to see a Scheel keel. Very clever man, very clever design work. This blue bottom paint here comes right off on your fingers if you're not careful.
That's a blading, right?
That's a blading right there. Big time. And you'll have a bladed in your hair if you're not careful. Anyway, we've got a slight cutaway bow up there, as you see, underwater. So it's not an old-fashioned full-length schooner-style keel. So she's cut away, and you've got a good long run to it. This has got a 39-foot waterline.
Wow. And
waterline is king. It's like cash. Cash is king, waterline is king. This will get you a lot of places fast. This is very full forward. This is what's going to give you the comfort forward, is the depth, as opposed to the new racing boats and some of the new designs where they come down, barely cut the water, and then bring the hull back here like so. It flattens out into a canoe-style stern or underbody, and those will pound going forward. This is a 30,000-pound boat. She has 8,000 pounds of lead in her. She's going to be solid and very comfortable in a seaway. So this design is just pure comfort and safety. And then aft here, he's cut away the back part of the keel and left the shaft exposed. And there's a big 3-bladed maxi, and as I say, this is probably about a 16-inch prop or so. And on it are cutters. You notice these 2 little pieces. If you unfortunately get hung up on a piece of fishing line or something, these 2 cutters, blades, they're sharp as anything, like shark's teeth. They'll just slice through the line and prevent it from getting fouled up in your propellers.
I think I saw those in a James Bond movie.
I think you did. Rudder is pretty massive, and it has a little trim tab on the back of it, and I can only think that at some point somewhere in the sailing the boat, somebody said, oh, we need just a little more pressure for maybe a weather helm or a lee helm, or something that helped the autopilot work a little better. It looks and sounds, there's no signs of any problem, it's just ablating all over me. Okay, so there's the prop turning, probably going in reverse maybe. But her underbody looks very good. This whole hull was blasted, taken down to glass, and dealt with. So that's pretty fair. And if you notice, she's been buffed out recently too, and the paint job looks perfect.
Yeah, I could see an orange hat in that.
You can see an orange hat in there. So she's a lovely, lovely boat, really strong retirement boat, I call it.
How do you like this British racing green with the gold stripe?
I think it's handsome. I think it's very handsome. I'm very fond of gold stripes. Again, it's a classic thing on yachts, is to have that gold cove stripe going along. It really stands out, and sometimes the sunlight catches it, and it's pretty spectacular.
I think I saw something at the bow that we haven't seen yet.
Oh, did you see a hole in the bow?
I saw a hole in there.
This is a bow thruster. There's 2 separate props, and they're each pitched opposite directions, so that if you turn the lever one way and it spins, it will make the boat move sideways to the port or move it sideways to starboard. You need this sometimes in very tight parking areas in marinas and so on. I've always felt it's just a matter of learning how your boat works, that you don't really need this added to it. There's some funny little scratches here on the bow on both sides, port and starboard. I can't quite tell where they came from. Maybe something drifted down on her when she was in a mooring and scratched it, but the rest of the part, the finish is mirror-like. She's pretty wonderful and an amazing surprise for me. Well, I think we've seen enough of the underside here. We've seen a lot of these bottoms. I think we gotta go take a look up topside, and I think you're really gonna be happy with what you find there. Whoa, there you are. Fabulous. Be careful stepping on board now.
All right.
Anyway, let's talk about this boat. First of all, she was designed by Henry Scheel. Henry eventually migrated up to Rockland, Maine, and started a company called Scheel Yachts. And they built 6 of these boats, but this boat is really special. I feel like I say that about a lot of the boats that we look at. This catches me. Let's take a look at this cockpit. I'm sitting here on the helmsman's bench. When I stand up, there's even a little footstool down there so I can see right over the top of the Dodger. When you see what's underneath and around this below decks, say, how did they get this locker up here? All the seating is sleep-worthy. The combings are the highest we've seen yet all around here, so you'll be safe no matter what angle of sail you're at. The teak sole here is really beautiful. I mean, this is classic. It looks actually like it came off an English warship. You've got handholds and places you can grab, you know, as you move about the cockpit. The helmsman's seat is beautiful. You can have yourself and your 2 grandchildren or so whatever you want to bring on board here, sit up there and just sail the boat away. Mizzen sheet right here goes through the cockpit, up along the bottom side of the boom, under the boom there, and down to the 4-part tackle on the very end of the boat there. So as you sail along, you've got the main sheet here, the mizzen sheet, and then you've got the Genoa sheets going to these nice big variant winches. But here's the best part. This little black rubber button arrangement, you push that and these are electrified. They just turn in. So there's no pulling on anything.
Sounds lazy.
Your 90-year-old grandmother can down here and push the button and haul the sails in. How far do you want it, Sonny? A couple of old geezers like me and my wife, for example, would be very comfortable sailing this boat and motoring when we need to. It's just an amazing arrangement, really wonderful. These decks are nice and wide. Notice even the Captain Q measuring stick fits on them. This cabin top is a little elevated, so they put a little step there for you to get up to any work you have to do up here. There's a nice little feature down here, is a bail, just to grab, as you can see, the ends of halyards. Click them on here, helps keep them away from the mast a little bit. This is a nice thing to have on a boat too, are the ash. These are ash rollers, and they're here so that when the boat has got the big Genoa up and the sheet drags around here, these will spin and nothing gets hung up on it and the boat will tack easily. Very nice, yachty, and well done. Up on the deck, the first thing you notice when you come up on the deck, a camber to it, and the camber gives you more volume, more headroom and so forth, and space down in the forward cabin, which you'll see. There's a plate that you would put a big dorade to catch wind when you're sailing and so forth. And again, this will leak water out of the sides. You'll catch air and water. The water leaks out here and the wind goes down into the cabin. So water out, air into the cabin. Structurally, everything here is rock solid. The pulpit is massive. The anchor bowsprit up here is just, I mean, you could lift the boat up with that. It's just so solid. First reaction on my part is, oh wow. I know I've said oh wow a lot with these boats, but the space in here is incredible. And I have a lot to measure it by, given the history I've had with boats and boats of this size and nature. This is just marvelous. Teak and holly sole, that's in terrific condition. This is incredible, the way it's set up right now. Look at the size of this. It's really enormous. We've got a 3-burner stove, it's propane. So we've got, this is the refrigeration area and your cold food storage. Look at the size of this front entry.
Oh, wow.
It's just, you can almost climb in there. It's so big. It's like another stateroom or something for somebody who wants to eat a lot. And one of the problems here is that a lot of things get put into a top entry fridge and they're just stacked up and you can't find it. The volume on this is just blowing my mind. So the galley is about as good a galley as you can find. Now into the main salon, we have a number of different seating arrangements here. First of all, there's 2 swivel chairs, captain's chairs if you want. Give you a nice place for 2 people to have a meal, play a game of cards, read a book, read the newspapers, and just make themselves at home. And everywhere you go, more storage. We have another one of our fold-down tables arrangements here. So there's lots of ways to dine, eat, read newspapers, read books, relax. The berth, the settee berth, is huge. Notice the woodwork in the boat as we go around here. It's superb. And look at the headliner and the finish on the strakes around the headliner. Okay, so we're coming here into the forward cabin. I'll let Randy go ahead of me. But just notice all the woodwork around. Slow down. Wow. You just want to take it all in there because the ceiling, which is the slats going up the side of the boat, is referred to as the ceiling, is all varnished mahogany and so forth, and teak. There's shelving. It's just the overhead. If you look at the overhead again, it's flawless. There's no water leaks or stains. And I had a question about the camber to the deck. You can look up and really see it below deck here. You don't see it when you're outside, but you can notice there how much more room and volume that gives you. It's a small point, but I'd have to have Henry here to give us a real answer exactly why, but I think it's a combination of safety at sea, more volume down here, and structural strength for the foredeck of the boat.
Yeah, this feels like about 6'3" or 4".
Oh,
headroom.
yeah, probably, and that's 6'3" in the forward stateroom is crazy.
Oh, yeah,
it's crazy. Right here we have a surprise little folding door. So you have privacy up in you keep peeking over the top. That's it, no more. And coming back, the forward head is right here, just on the off the hallway to the forward stateroom.
Oh wow!
And great shape. And one of the best things about the head, take notes here because notice where the situation of the bowl is. The bowl is in between the bulkhead, the fore and aft bulkhead, and also the sink, and it's in a fore and aft position. So when you're on the bulkhead and the boat's lurching into seaways, you are not going to get thrown out through the door, and that's been known to happen on boats. Now, we've looked at chart tables before, but this chart table makes you think that you're actually on the bridge of a destroyer in the Second World War. It's huge. You could almost put a full-size chart here. I'm sort of wedged in here too, so I just kind of come down here and work.
What if you wanted to sit down?
If I wanted to sit down, there is a little fold-up seat right here, and I can put there's a brace underneath that. And if you notice my head, please notice my head. I've got plenty of room, 6'1". Coming aft now, if you want to fix your engine, you can walk right into the engine room here.
Wow, that is a ton
just
of space.
Enormous. So great engine room, Ford Lehman, 80 horsepower, and you can literally walk into there practically on your knees, but still get to everything. We're coming into the main cabin in the boat. Okay, we have a symmetrical berthing arrangement here underway in a Seaway. This will be a great place to sleep. We've got bunk boards here, canvas bunk boards they're called. And these will pop up and keep you right in that berth right there. And in here is the head. Now check out this head. There we go. We got a head complete with a little fuzzy on the seat, and that's always comforting at sea. Nice size. Randy's in there right now and taking a shot. And if you open that door, you will find you have a shower and a
full-size tub. Wow.
Open those doors, and you will see access to the generator. What I really, really like about this boat, this is a selling point for me, is we're in the master cabin, we're on a mooring, and we just want to come out and have a cup of coffee, read the newspaper, and sit down in my own private cockpit.
Oh, wow.
Does this get any more deluxe?
This boat has an extra cockpit.
An extra cockpit, right. Notice how they've incorporated into this is very clever. The push pit here, metalwork, is incorporated a set of dinghy davits there. So you can hoist the dinghy right on the end of these pieces. And I don't know what else to tell you about this boat. It's just really unbelievable. When you first see the boat, she's dark green. She has a gold cove stripe. And when you climb aboard, and your first sight is a giant cockpit, really well laid out. And the non-skid is tan, and the waterways are white. And it's just handsome and as clean as possible. I really was quite smitten with it. Everything inside the boat was designed for the human body ergonomically. Nothing was squeezed in. They didn't overdo, try to put in too many staterooms. I loved it. It was really terrific. But the cherry on top for me for this boat was the after cockpit, a small after cockpit carved into the transom of the boat that allowed you to walk out of your owner's stateroom and sit back in the quiet and out of the wind of your own little back porch to the boat. I thought it was really neat. Where do you want to take the boat? This is one of those questions, anywhere you want it to go, take it. But you can also go to the Bahamas with her draft. She is a centerboarder, and
which means she could probably go up the canals of France, right?
You probably could go up the canals of France, exactly. The killer is that the boat is presently on the market for $39,000. It may be sold by the time we get to post this on the channel, but that boat was sitting on the hard, so I don't know if it floats, but my guess is it's going to float beautifully. So bam, she gets a 10 to start with. After that, given the design parameters and the ability to cruise that boat anywhere that the designer had, I've got to kick it up to, this has got to be a 16 plus. So I'm going to give Henry and his boat 16 plus on this. And if I had an extra dollar right now, I'd run over there and buy that boat. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when the next one comes out, please hit the alert bell. And that's not desperate at all. We're having too good a time doing these things, so you can hit the bell or not.